Rizal's, Mindanao. Tinig mo ay sadyang kahanga-hanga. Awit mo ay salamin ng iyong buhay. Aawitin ng buong bansa. Ang galing mo, kapatid, kailanman. Buong bansa ngayon ay kakanta.
It's a new day and it's a new life to start an important topic. Everyone, welcome to Fly High Marites featuring Rizal'S Travel.
Hey, fly high Marites, 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 fly high Marites. Ang chikadora, ang chismosa na si Marites.
And for today, let's talk about Rizal. Let's reflect and discuss of how Rizal travel around the world and what is his purpose for traveling. And to talk about it, I am with these amazing people who are currently studying at Nur Solihull campus as first year BS Ed Social Science student, your future educator. Let's know and listen to their different facts and discussion. I am Charles, your travel guide, and this is Fly High Marites.
Hey, fly high Marites, 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 fly high Marites. Ang chikadora, ang chismosa na si Marites.
And to start of it, you know guys, Rizal has a very big impact to the independence that we are embracing today. And it is rightful enough to know about it. But before anything else, let us know first facts about Rizal life with this segment, Who's Rizal?
Who's Rizal? Jose Rizal in full name, Jose Rizal Protasio Mercado y Alonso. Born on June 19, 1861, Calamba, Philippines. Died on December 30, 1896, Manila. Patriotizations, a man of letters who an inspiration to the Philippines nationalist movement. Rizal was educated in Manila at the University of Madrid. A brilliant medical student, his son committed himself to the reform of the Spanish rule in his home country. Though he never advocated Philippines independence, most of his writing was done in Europe when he resided between 1882 and 1892. In 1887, Rizal published in the first novel, Noli Me Tangere, a passionate exposure of the evils of the Spanish rule in the Philippines. A sequel, El Filibusterismo, in 1891, Rizal was established his reputation as a leading spokesman of the Philippines reform movement. Rizal became the leader of propaganda movement, contributing numerous articles to its newspaper, La Solidaridad, published in Barcelona. Rizal returned to the Philippines in 1892. He found a non-violent reform society, the La Liga Filipina. In Manila, was departed to the Pitan in northwest Mindanao. Rizal is remained to exile for the next 4 years. In 1896, the Katipunan, a Filipino nationalist secret society, revolted against Spain. Rizal was arrested and tried for disputations by military, found guilty. He was publicly executed by firing squad in Manila. Rizal, his martyrdom convinced Filipinos that there was no alternative to independence from Spain. Rizal, his execution while confined in Fort Santiago, Rizal wrote Ultimo Adios, Last Farewell. The legacy of Rizal is remembered through the Philippines for his brilliance, courage, peaceful resistance to tyranny, and compassion.
Hi, this is your first trivia personnel, Tabin Vanji. Let's start with the first question. Who's Dr. Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Realunda, or known as Dr. Jose Rizal? You're right, he is our Philippine national hero. But to go farther, Jose Rizal is the seventh child of Francisco Mercado Rizal and Shadora Alonso Realunda. Yes, you hear that right. But here's the trivia. Did you know that Jose Rizal is commonly known as the father of Filipino nationalism? And he was the first Filipino to give expression to Philippine nationalism in his writings, to chart a route to national unity for his people, and to elaborate nationalism as tangent to freedom and emancipation. And that was the first trivia for this video. See you next!
And in this part, let us now know the different places around the world where Rizal traveled and what did he do in these places.
Rizal's trip in the year 1882. Rizal left Philippines for the first time in Spain. He boarded the Salvadora using a passport of Jose Mercado, which was procured by him by his uncle Antonio Rivera, brother of Lino Rivera. He was accompanied to the quarry where the Salvadora was moored by his uncle Antonio, Vicente Gila, and Mateo Evangelista. On June 15, 1882, he left Marseilles for Barcelona in an express train. On August 20, 1882, Rizal was in Barcelona, Spain. His article Amor Patreo was published in the Diarong Tagalog, a Manila newspaper edited by Basilio Teodoro. This was the first article he wrote abroad. On September 2, 1882, Rizal was in Madrid, Spain. Rizal matriculated at the Universidad Central de Madrid. He took the following subjects: medical clinic, surgical clinic, legal medicine, and obstetrical clinic. On November 4, 1882, he wrote the article Revista de Madrid, which was intended for publication in the Diarong Tagalog in Manila, but was not published because the newspaper stopped its circulation. November 7, 1882, Rizal wrote an article entitled Las Dudas. The article was signed Laong Laan.
Philippines 1882. Hola, it's me again. And for the second segment, did you know that in 1882, a cholera epidemic affected many parts of the Philippine archipelago? Yes,
It was
a
totally
total
devastating.
Cholera is an acute infection caused by contaminated food or water. The disease came to the country as a consequence of the Spanish colonial government, focus on global trade and commerce. But when the disease struck, Rizal wasn't already in the Philippines because also in the year 1882, he flew abroad to complete his studies and obviously left Philippines. Keep your focus as we continue this video. See you in the next trivia.
In 1882, Rizal left for the Philippines for the first time and traveled to Spain. He was conferred a licentiate in medicine 2 years later. Rizal's decisions to study Spain was motivated by both personal and altruistic motives. He pursued to study Spain because he decided to become an eye specialist so that he could cure her mother's eye disease. He also wished to learn about European cultures, laws, and government in order to assist his Filipino citizens. His journey provided him with a broad understanding of various cultures which he used to inspire reform. Rizal's travels and adventures in Spain are a significant part of his education and mission for the Philippines.
Spain 1882. In May 3, 1882, Rizal left from Philippines to go Spain due to his personal reasons. He excelled at anything that he put his mind in the field of medicine, poetry, sketching, architecture, sociology, and so on. Did you know that Jose Rizal also finished his studies in philosophy and letters with higher grades? He was awarded the degree of licentiate in philosophy and letters by the Universidad Central de Madrid on June 19, 1885, with a rating of excellent. Wow, that was quietly amazing. That was for the third trivia. I'll see you next.
Our Philippine national hero Dr. Rizal as his journey in Barcelona, Spain. June 16, 1882, and it was summer season. Jose Rizal arrived at Barcelona at 12 noon. Rizal arrived at Barcelona and boarded in the Fonda de España. During of Rizal's arrival, he was welcomed by the Filipinos in Barcelona and many of who were his former classmates at Ateneo Municipal. During the time, Rizal found out that the people of the city enjoyed freedom and liberalism. While Rizal is in Barcelona, he wrote an essay for the Ronong Tagalog, and this following piece is entitled 1. Amor Patrio, which means love of the country. Second, Los Viajes, which means travels. And third one is what we call Revisita de Madrid, or what we call Review of Madrid. While in Barcelona, Rizal took time writing to his family and relatives in the Philippines. Because Rizal did not forget his mission that time for making a name for himself in the field of writing.
Barcelona, Spain. June 16, 1882, at 12 noon, Rizal arrived at Barcelona and boarded in the Fonda de España. While in Barcelona, Rizal took time writing to his family, relatives, and friends in the Philippines. Did you know that Rizal's nationalistic essay entitled Love of Country is his first article written in Spain? He wrote his essay when he was 21 years of age, under the pseudonym Laong Laan. But due to Rizal's personal reasons, he stopped producing nationalistic articles. That was for the fourth trivia for this video, and brace yourselves up. See you to the next trivia.
Dr. Jose Rizal left the Philippines on May 3, 1882 and arrived in Madrid, Spain in September 1882. Rizal has a personal reason as well as altruistic reason to study abroad. He enrolled the following courses, which is medicine, philosophy, and letters. He also studied paintings at Real Academia de Bellas Artes de San Fernando in Ale, Alcala. Rizal began his medical studies on October 2, 1882, and he completed his licenciado in Medicina on June 21, 1884. He did not have his doctrines in medicine because he did not present the thesis required for graduation. He finished his studies in philosophy and letters and obtained the degree Licenciado en Filosofía y Letras with a rating of sobresaliente. While Rizal is in Madrid, Spain, he met important people, which is Dr. Miguel Murrieta and Don Pablo Ortiga y Rey. Jose Rizal joined the Círculo Hispano-Filipino, the social organization where the members talk about the reforms needed in the Philippines. He also joined Freemasonry, the organization outlawed by the Catholic Church because its beliefs are contrary to the doctrines of the Church. In this time, Rizal became a member and his Masonic name was Damasala. On June 25, 1884, Rizal gave a speech in a public audience saying that Luna and Higaldo were the pride of the Filipino people. He voiced the hope that someday Spain will grant the reforms needed by the Filipinos. Rizal started to write the first half of his book, which is No Limitangiri, in Madrid, Spain from 1884 to 1885 while he is still studying for medicine. Rizal explained the title No Limitangiri means touch me not. This book was dedicated to the Philippines, his father.
Madrid, Spain, 1883 to 1884. Did you know that he took courses in medicine at Universidad Central de Madrid as well as painting at Real Academia de Bellas Artes de San Fernando in Calle Alcalá? Rizal mentioned that he enrolled at Facultad de Derecho but shifted to Filosofía y Letras, which he finished with highest honor. Rizal is really intelligent and he doesn't fail to prove that through his works.
In 1883, he traveled to France to observe how medicine was being practiced there. Rizal went to Paris to specialize in ophthalmology. He chose this branch to cure his mother's eye. In France, he toured the National Panorama, a huge building constructed in 1885, designed for a diverse exhibition of arts and trade. Rizal worked as an assistant in the clinic of Dr. Sack Weber. And at night, he attended lecture at the University of Berlin. He also taught private lessons in French under Madame Lucie Serdoli. Jose Rizal trained under Dr. Wicker for 4 months, from November 1885 to February 1886, and where he learned the cataract surgery technique, which he used on his mother Teodora Alonso.
France, 1883. Did you know that in June 1883, he traveled to France to observe how medicine was being practiced there? That was interesting. For about 3 months sojourn in France. Layenic Hospital, where Rizal observed Dr. Nicaise treating his patients. La Reboiserie Hospital, where Rizal observed the examination of different diseases of women. Enough for that, and see you in the 7th trivia.
August 20, 1883, Rizal was back in Madrid from his summer vacation in Paris. Then, 6th of September with the same year of 1883, he changed his residence from Virgilio Street number 34-4 to San Miguel number 71 Center. He enrolled at the Central Universidad de Madrid for the second course in medicine on September 28, 1883. Afterward, it was October of 1883 when he came to know of the imprisonment by order of Senior Vicente Barrantes of the 14 rich innocent person in Manila. The prisoners who knew nothing of the cause of their detention and who became sick later were kept in a humid prison cell. Rizal was indignant of this inhuman act. Well, October 16, 1883, he learned from Mariano Katigbak about the 400 cholera victims in Lipa and 3 of Berry. However, as of October 28, 1883, he had a new address. He lived with Eduardo Lete and Lorente brothers, who are Julio and Abdon Ivano Tigral. A few weeks after, November 21, 1883, Rizal informed his family of his plan to graduate in medicine at the end of the course in June. However, November 27, 1883, his sister Maria informed Rizal that Soledad was married on November 4, 1883. In a letter, Narcisa also informed him that the causes of the delay of sending him a letter were the cholera, the typhoon, and the death of the parish priest, events which occurred in succession. Henceforward, December 31, 1883, in the evening, Rizal delivered a speech in a banquet held at the Café de Madrid. Many Filipinos were gathered in the restaurant to bid goodbye to the year 1884. Afterwards, January 2, 1884, Rizal proposed to the member of the circular assembled in the House of the Patriots the publication of a book by association. This idea became the embryo of the first novel, Nole Me Tangere. January 4, 1884, Rizal received a letter from his uncle Antonio Rivera. They were, according to him, full of good and interesting news. Then, January 5, 1884, Rizal and the Filipino students were reunited again in the House of Patria to recognize the association. January 8, 1884, Rizal finished 2 drawings. He met Ruiz, who proposed him that if there would be someone who paid the expenses of the Thurlow, he would be made president. At last, January 9, 1884, he did a single centavo. He attended.
Madrid, Spain. Ahora Escocia bien. Way back on September 1882, Rizal set his decision to move in Madrid, the capital city of Spain. He enrolled in a course in medicine at the Universidad Central de Madrid in Spain. Did you know that, according to Gregorio Brillantes, from 1882 to 1885 and during his second shortest stay in Madrid in 1890 to 1891, he lived at least 9 boarding houses, hotels, or residences, for he wanted to look for a cheaper place in order to save. Also, the proximity of the place to his school, the tranquility of its neighborhood for nights of study and writing, the state of the house itself, and the composition of its tenants. Wow, that was great. Enough of that, and see you again to the next trivia.